Alrighty guys, apologize for the noise right away. Heater's running. Hopefully you can hear me all right. As you can see, got myself an engine stand here. Got the motor on it. This is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be tearing into this thing and see exactly what's wrong with it. I'm going to guess that there's an exhaust valve issue because from what I could see through the intake, the valves looked all right there, and I don't see any internal damage through the piston hole or through the spark plug hole. Although it's one little hole like that, I can't really see much. But what I can see, it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna guess it's an exhaust valve issue, and we'll see what needs to happen there. See how much money needs to go into this. Also, a quick update. As you can see, I got myself a welder. There will be another video talking about this in a future video, but as you can see, we got a whole setup here. We got our tank, we got a Hobart welder, and it's in really nice shape. It's got a nice cover on it and everything, so I'm really happy with this purchase. It was a good price. More on that in another video. Link will probably be in here when the video comes out. So anyway, let's get to work on this thing, and I'll get back to you when I got an update. Alrighty guys, as you see there, I've got most of the motor taken apart now. We're gonna go ahead and start. Now that we're to this point, we're at the point now that we're gonna start taking the heads apart. I'm gonna check this head first, because this head had pretty good compression. I think it had 160 on, I think it had 160 on 1, and 2 was 1 or 3. I mean, was 120. If I remember correctly, or maybe I had that vice versa. Point is, we had good compression over here. I don't expect to find anything too bad over here, if anything at all. I'm gonna check this side first, and then we're gonna flip it over to the other side and see the other heads, the condition of those. And then the last thing I want to do tonight, if I have time, is pull off the oil cover, and we'll the oil pan. I don't know why the fuck I said cover, but anyway, we'll pull the oil pan off. So without further ado, let's get this head off. All right, guys, got the top of this head off, or the valve cover rather, so I can see the camshafts here. I just wanted to make a quick note here. These two caps, the one that goes on the intake one is labeled. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong one. That's the intake one. It's labeled right side intake. That's RN, and this one is labeled on the top here RE, so right side exhaust. Just want to make a note of that. It's not really for you guys viewers, it's more for me if I can't figure out how this goes back together. Also, there's little arrows that point towards the end of the camshaft, and the exhaust one says EJD, 3EJD. this says 1 EJD, 3 EJD, 3 1JD, and 1 1JD. Just for future reference, in case I can't figure it out later. They don't look... That one anyway doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look scored up at all. Not bad. I mean, it definitely could be better. There's definitely a little bit of scoring on there. Nothing that I can feel, but I can just see it ever so slightly. There's some streaks on it. Like it's been, well, it's like it's you know, how old it is. It's 170,000 miles or something like that on it. I honestly don't even remember since I bought it, but it's a fair amount of mileage. And yeah, so a little bit of wears to be expected. As you can see, these really do not look too bad. They look really good, actually. There's nothing about that so far that is any cause for concern to me. So that's always a good sign. You know, worst thing would be if I had a broken camshaft or something. Holy shit. That would be that'd be something else. Alright, so now we got that apart. We get down here to these head bolts, get the head bolts out, and we can take a look at the valves. And I do have I thought I had a tool for these, but I don't know if they'll work for this style or not. We'll find out. Anyway, let's get back to it. Alright guys, so I got the head off. As you can see, very minor damage, if any. I mean, definitely a good, there's a little bit of a sealing ring here, or a lip ring, whatever the fuck they call that. Compression lip, or whatever. Looks like it's about the same on the other side. It does not look too bad. So, I'm also surprised to see, I was told, anyway, that these are closed, or these are open deck. Well, I guess no, I guess this is an open deck, isn't it? Because a semi-closed deck would have pieces in here, and then a closed deck would this would all be aluminum. You know, let me know if anyone's tried this on these motors. I've seen forums on getting brass pins and pinning, putting pins right, you know, like 3 spots, like here, here, and here, and then here, here, and here, just to keep these from moving around too much that way. I've heard that helps, so it can handle better boost. I don't know if it's necessary though. I mean, I don't know. This thing supposedly was running 300 horsepower to the wheels at one point, and it still looks like this, so I don't know. But anyway, head came off pretty easily. The head gasket looks pretty good. It doesn't look like there's any obvious signs of massive blow-by or anything like that. That being said, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get new gaskets for all this when it goes back together, so don't think that I'm gonna be reusing them. I was right with this style. I'm not gonna be able to use this spring compressor tool. It just doesn't fit down in there. So I'm gonna need to get a different spring compressor tool. I do believe that I've seen ones specifically made for EJ20s. that actually bolt to these holes, and then they press these two down at the same time. I'll take a look around online and see what I can find. Or maybe there's one at a parts store somewhere that I can go run and grab or something like that. But anyway, right now both of the valve trains are fully closed, obviously because the camshafts are out. But so I can't see the condition of the valves, but from what I can see here, they don't look like, I mean, none of them are sticking up. None of them I can see light through. So I would think anyway that they've got to be at least fairly good. Well, I'll get this to stand up. I'll shine my light into the exhaust. Or I'm sorry, that would be the intake. And I don't see any light coming through there. So that's good. I mean, obviously, a light test like this is no formal test. It's no way of actually telling if it's sealing correctly or not. But the good news is that if it is, if I can't see light through it, then it probably means that I can get away with just lapping these valves and reassembling, and it'll be done. So yeah, all four of those, I don't see any light coming through on the camera or with my eye, so that's good news. Like I said, it's not definite, obviously, but it's a good sign. It's the best way I have of measuring that right now. Eventually, I'll be getting the proper equipment, either greasing it or painting it or something like that, so I can actually see the sealing on those valves. And depending on what the other side's like, if I need to buy new valves, then this will get new valves too. So I guess that's a good segue. It's time to pull off that head. So let's see what we got there. Alright guys, so sorry about that. My phone died in the middle of that hyperlapse, but what you didn't see is me fighting like hell to get these camshaft bolts out. I ended up sticking a pipe on it, and I was twisting the whole motor by the time it broke free, but I got them free. Definitely ruined the bolts in the process. If you can see that, that's stripped all the hell. This one actually is all right, but then I also, when in the process of trying to hold on to it while turning it, I put a big old groove in this one, and I think the same on this one. Not so bad because it's steel, but yeah, sure enough, there's a little bit on there. So the good news is that when I bought these two sprockets for the right side, it came with the left ones too. Came with brand new, well, not brand new, but new sprockets, and also new bolts. So I don't have to worry about those being f***ed up. So anyway, again, just as my own reference, we got one R8 here. We got two 1RB. I'm sorry, two 1RB, and we got four 1RB, and then two ERB, and four ERB. So, and all the arrows are pointing to the seals, like on the other side. So big, giant groove in that one. Which almost looks like it's not much on the cap here, but on the actual cam, it's a big old groove in it, and I don't know. That might be That might be stock. That might be machined in there for oil passage. Yeah, looks like it is, because the other side's the same way. So, I'm going to get all these off of here. I got the caps off with my cam sensor on there. And those are labeled. Oops. Just dropped my cam sensor. Hopefully that's okay. This one looks like it's labeled. That one's not labeled actually. But it's got the cam sensor on it, so I know it's on the upper driver's side, intake driver's side. And this one is labeled, it looks like LE right there. You guys can see that. LE right there. You guys can't really see it, but I can see it. LE, left side exhaust. So that makes sense. Again, our camshafts don't look bad. They look like they are in working order. No problems there. So that's good. I'm gonna have to do that two hands, but that's fine. So, got our cams out, and yeah, I can't get the lifters out. The other one, I actually, when I pulled the head off, I flipped it over, and all 8 of the lifters just fell right out. So I'm hoping that's the same way on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and get this head off, and then I will be back to show you the carnage of this head, because I'm sure it is not pretty. Alright guys, so I got this head off. Interestingly enough, there is little evidence to suggest that that this had collided at all. There's a little bit of schmoo down in here, just from me taking off the head. But there is, I don't know if you guys can see that, right on that lip there, there's a little bit of a, let me see if I can get a pointer down in there. So right there, if you guys can see that little arc, that's a little nick in the head that actually, the screwdriver actually catches on that. So, and it's the same on this side. So what I'm assuming, which is interesting because that's actually the intake side of the valves, which I didn't expect. I couldn't see anything wrong with the valves from when I took the intake off, but on the other side, as you can see, the other side looks really good. Actually, you can't see, can you? There's a little nick right here. I don't know if that's just carbon buildup or if that's actually a contact point. And yeah, and that other side exhaust valve doesn't have any mark on it. So that's kind of interesting, I think. We come over here. This is all the lifters and things. The lifters all looked fine. Came out nicely, no problems there. And here's the head. So what we're looking at is cylinder 4, which would be this one. And it would be the intake valves, which would be this side. So interestingly enough, again, the valves do not show any evidence of collision either. So I'm really kind of curious as to what. Oh no, never mind. I stand corrected. You can see those intake valves are bent. Hope you guys can see that. Yep. You can see air there. And on the other side as well, you can see my light shining up on the top of the cylinder head. That's coming through that valve. There you go. Now you can see it. So, yep, intake valves are bent on that one. This one looks good. I don't see any light coming through there. And that one, oh, yep, there's a little. There's some light on that side as well. I'm wondering if maybe the other ones were bent too and I just didn't check them well enough. That one's definitely bent. Definitely. That one's got a major bend in it because it doesn't even want to seat. It's like sealing on this side and that's it. On all three of these sides, it's up. It's lifted up. So that one's really bent. And let's see. And that one is as well. You can see air light. You can see light through there. And up here. Let's see. That one looks okay. I don't see any light there. This other one though, I think I can see a gap. Oh. Huh. I stand corrected. So that one looks okay as well. All right, so it's these four are bent, and then these are maybe a little bent too. Whoops. So what's good though is it's not, you know, the piston doesn't look destroyed. The cylinder bore, you know, the top of the I was afraid that the top of the valve maybe came off or something. I'm glad that that didn't happen. So the cylinder bore looks really good still. The piston looks okay. It's got a little nicks in it, but that's not going to affect performance at all. So what I think I actually might do is just rebuild this motor. Keep all the internals that I have. Maybe just get these lips removed in here, clean these up a little bit. But definitely these heads need to be rebuilt. So I think I'll probably just go ahead and rebuild both heads. Good news is though, is I don't think I need to be replacing the heads. The head looks okay. I don't see any spots on the head gasket that indicate blow-by or anything like that. I don't see any big whitewashed or oil washed sections, so that's good. Same with the head. Though if I'm rebuilding, I might actually have these remachined, so they're just nice and flat. This is all speculation. It's all up in the air, all up to what I decide. But the good news is I think that I can go ahead and actually salvage this short block, which is cool. I didn't think that I was going to. My original intention was to buy either a OEM short block or a stage 1 short block by Manley or one of the other engine builders. There's tons out there, but I was thinking about getting a short block from them, probably a stage 1. But now I'm thinking that I could probably salvage this short block with just a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of love here. So I need it to be able to handle the abuse for the entire rally and keep on going. So, because I'm not going to be able to have just, you know, a spare motor laying around to throw in. I don't have the money for that. I don't have the space for that. I don't have the resources for that. Not to mention replacing the motor out in the field would be, well, it'd be possible, but it'd be difficult. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day for this video. I'm really tired right now. I don't think that it's worth replacing the short block. Honestly, I mean, it's hard to decide, because as much as I'd love to put new pistons and new crank and new rods and, you know, put a whole build kit in this, as long as I have it apart, I'd love to do that. The problem is it's a lot of money, first of all, and second of all, I have never split one of these crankcases before. I've never done that, and quite frankly, I don't know if I have the skill necessary to get it apart, get the new pistons, get the new cranks and rods and everything in it, with it being a Subaru. Just the fact that, because with Subarus, if you guys don't know, you actually have to split the crankcase, and then, no, I'm sorry, you have to go in through these, through little plug holes. Let's see if I can find one here. Right there, if you guys can see that Allen head right there, that's a little plug, and you go in through there, and you can push out. You push the crank, or not the crank, the wrist pins out through that, and then you're able to split the crankcase, which was done with bolts way the hell down there. This whole thing comes in half. It splits in half, and then you have just the crank in the middle, and the pistons are still stuck in the sides. So then you pull the pistons out, put the rings on, put whatever, you know, and then so you have to have the pistons in these when you put it all back together, and then it's a mess. It's a lot more complicated than an inline 4, than a V6, than a V8, than literally any other engine. A horizontally opposed engine like this is just, it's difficult. It's difficult to work on. So, you know, we'll see what ends up needing to happen with it. I'll take a look around and see what my options are, and I'll let you guys know in the next video what I'm thinking. And you guys can give me some feedback in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. And let me know if, you know, I'm a complete moron for thinking that maybe I can salvage this. So I don't know. I'll like I said, I gotta take a look around, and I just gotta think on it for a while. But the good news is that I do believe that this is salvageable if I would like to. So gives me that option. And it actually allows me to save a lot of money. If I can just rebuild the heads and slap them back on, or, you know, do a little bit of work here and there and then slap it back together, you know, that'll be good, at least for the time being, until it grenades again, and then hopefully I'll have a sponsorship paying for the new motor. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video today, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I love doing this work. I love pulling apart motors and figuring out what's wrong with them. I have had a couple motors down to this point. I've had the old motor that I had in Sharon in my Forester. I had that down to this as well, but I never actually split it. And I don't know how hard splitting it is. I don't know if that's going to be... It seems extremely complicated to me, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can convince me that it's not so bad. Let me know. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.